it's Uncle Destiny. We're time to do our reading for the month of April and see what this new spring and new seasonal year holds for all of us. So I want to remind you that this is a general reading for everybody, so anything more specific to you would need to be done as a separate reading, so you can contact me below for that. Otherwise, let's go ahead and get the ancestors in and get this reading started for the month of April. Alrighty, so in this reading we didn't have anything that came off the reading surface. Now I should also have preferenced this earlier, that unfortunately we're shooting in different locations, so we got a lot of background noise, so unfortunately I have to bear with that. Now, back to the reading. So what we see here is an interesting cluster, that the three main bones are here in almost a parallel position. And what it reminds me of, and what I see, is that of the roadway. So you have one pathway going one way, you've got another path at the side of the pathway, so that traffic can come back and forth. But also, it's at kind of like a fork in the road, so that at one point you're going to have to veer slightly off one way and you're veering off the other direction. So you have a very roadway sense with this. Now, given the fact that this is we're now in the first week of the new seasonal year, spring, we're at a crossroads. So travel is very important in all of this. So there's a very overall theme about travel, movement, direction in this reading for the coming month of April. So what I see here with the bones being work, home and family, purpose, that this coming month is all going to be about what are you doing to set yourself up for the next seasonal year. So namely, what are you birthing? What are you getting rid of? What path and direction are you setting for yourself? And how are you willing to travel down that path? Now, with the way the bones fall, the spinal or base bone is here on the side closest to family and in between work and family. So there's going to be a lot of shifting that's going to go on between work and family in the direction it's traveling. Now that can mean supporting a relative as they go back to school, celebrating a relative as they finish school, taking on new work. What are new ways of birthing and new roles that might be coming? So there may be a family shift in for the fact that there may be a new baby on the way. That means the youngest is now going to become the middle child or the eldest. Vice versa, you may be bringing in a relative who can no longer care for themselves by themselves. So you may having mom, dad, or aunt or uncle moving in because of their age. And it's going to be birthing a new change in a new relationship. Now, what's key there is you do need to make sure that you're getting the appropriate help and the appropriate mindset, that you're changing. Nothing is going to be the same after that. What's being birthed into reality is going to be birthed because it is both necessary and will help you grow. Now the other ones, which is purpose, which also matches up with work, happens to be seated almost directly over the copper piece. So there's very much a divine connection with things, which is also interesting because there's so much of the support bones surrounded mostly around the copper piece and the base of these bones. So the path that you're following in this coming time, the direction of some things, needs to come very much from a higher order. So from a spiritual place, from a place of the ancestors, but you also want their support. This direction is something that you've been on for a long time, and at this point it's going to be becoming much more apparent that the directions you need to follow are being guided by the higher forces. But trust in them. Trust in the universe, trust in the ancestors. And that's also supported by some more of the smaller rib bones and support bones that are found under the family, under the work one. So the work that you're doing is much more important, is much more where your focus is. So purpose and work, those are the areas to look into. Is the work being fulfilling? Are you helping as many people as possible? Or are you doing this work more for the material gains? So, is what you're gaining from this really supporting your family, your friends, and yourself? Because it's great to be able to work an 80-hour week and be able to afford the Maserati and the apartment in the ritzy area. But how much time are you spending in that apartment? How much time are you spending driving that car? How much time are you actually spending on those trips that you're paying for? Are you spending it looking at the scenery and getting energy from it? Or are you spending most of your time reading emails from your boss? So it's very much looking at the purpose and making sure that the purpose you've picked, the road that you're traveling, is the right one, and is that it's serving you well. Now, the other bones that are out here at the outer edge, especially the ones we've got trailing off here and then this one over here, show that there are going to be some more influences coming in. Not surprising. But what these influences bring, in some cases, are support, which is the group we have going off here, that the things that aren't supporting you will begin to fall away as you move further down your road and your purpose. So those things, those people who are not supporting you will drop out of your view. And it's a good thing, because you've got to move on with your path as they have to move on with theirs. Now this one over here, that's outside the off in the sun, this one is very much in alignment with the family bone. And again, this was that aspect of something new is being birthed, whether it being a relative coming back to live with you, or even relatives, say, children coming back from college to live with you, or new births coming into the family. There is a new potential, a new direction, a new influence, if you will, that's coming in towards the family. Nothing malicious with it, but it is going to be one of those things that requires you to reevaluate the road that you're working on, which has been the common theme with today's reading. Evaluate the road that you're on, change it as you need to as you reach the crossroads, because you're coming on crossroads whether you realize it or not. It's just a matter of whether you turn to look left or right and see that it's somewhere else you can go. So, that's it for today. This is Uncle Destiny. I will see you again back on May for our next reading and having the ancestors in. And I wish everyone a happy Easter, for those of you that celebrate it. And enjoy the time with your family and the fertility that comes with that, of what you're birthing, not just with your family, but with your friends and in your life. The ancestors are with you. Ashe.